More JPEGs, man. Welcome
The
back
man who
to the
needs
show.
who needs
Hello,
no
hello.
introduction.
Yes,
My man who's no stranger to drinks, weights, and some fun racing games. Welcome, bro.
Thanks for
definitely,
having me. Thanks for having me. I'm
man.
excited for I'm glad you brought it up, Firestorm. It was a fun time in NFT NYC. We got another Avalanche house coming up in Brooklyn. I'll be there. I asked Firestorm if he wanted to come. He said it wasn't really his thing, word for word. So yeah.
I
Hey,
did.
gotta respect the axolotl, man. You know.
Dude, listen.
I'm just playing.
Most important thing, right? Avalanche House. I expect you to right the wrongs you've committed during NFT NYC.
Oh no, committed
Two
Right
things,
the
wrongs.
two things
wrongs.
that you owe me. One is an umbrella. That's an
Okay,
inside
okay.
joke. Two is some freaking Snail Trail merch, bro. What happened to my like t-shirts and stuff, man? Like you gave it out and like I had no t-shirts. What's the deal, bro? Are you gonna right that wrong? That's the number one
I
question we're
I
starting with.
do have a couple of t-shirts left. You actually, yeah, I have two extra ones.
Well,
I
it's great because
kept
there's two of
I kept
us.
two for myself. Kept two for myself, like because we have two different designs. So I
Mm.
kept two, and then there was like two or three extra shirts that didn't fit in my backpack when I went to give them out. So you guys did catch some luck. I'll bring them over.
Excellent.
All
Excellent.
right, all right.
My
Well,
man Jimmy can't make the event, but I will make sure the t-shirt makes it to him.
yeah, I don't,
So
I don't,
we'll
I
we'll
don't leave
sort
the
it out.
house. But let me wheel it back real quick because you guys are having a family reunion over here because Snail Trail, more JPEGs. I wanted to just kind of talk to you for a second because we like to get to know the person behind the PFP over here on In the Club. You know what I mean? So, like,
Hmm.
how did you come to work with Snail Trail? Like, what was your journey into crypto, and how did you get to Snail Trail?
So I was working at a digital marketing agency that raised funds for asset and wealth management firms.
Okay,
So I was in like traditional finance and all that. And I first started on Solana. 'Cause, Ethereum wasn't my thing with the high gas fees.
sure.
Solana was an interesting experience for like a little bit less than a month, and then I found Avalanche. I was excited because MetaMask and everything. It was the common EVM, and it was a lot more familiar to me
Right.
than Solana was, and it was obviously low gas fees. So I started on Avalanche myself, minting and trading DeFi projects in late August. I minted my first mint was AVAX Punks. Second mint was AVAX Apes, which I still have. It's one of the OG
Nice.
projects I've been around for a while, and
Hey.
so I've just been, exploring the space. I was in a builders Discord because I wanted to kind of contribute to Avalanche. I
Sure.
felt like I've made a lot of friends in a lot of like the NFT communities I was a part of and
Sure.
all that stuff. So I really enjoyed the space. I wanted to contribute. And I thought, hey, I'm doing this for TradFi. I know I can do it for crypto. So I
Right.
saw a job posting for Snail Trail. They're looking for a marketing guy, and I was like, I'm the guy. So I
That's what's up.
applied. We we talked. Seemed like the right thing for me. They gave me an offer, and now we're working together ever since.
And
That's
the
awesome.
rest is history, man. I remember those days. Those
Yeah.
were
Hmm.
the early days of Snail Trail. The white paper was still being worked on, and we kind of wanted to, if I fill in some gaps, right? The vision that the team had, the founders had is, we're not going to go crazy with the way we market and we build our community. And the emphasis was on building organic community, organic supporters for the game, right?
Right.
Right,
And
right.
more JPEGs literally fit into that model perfectly because he is a guy coming directly from the community, an OG NFT connoisseur, NFT savant, let's call him, right?
Right. Right.
And
Hmm.
he already had a good sort of reach into different projects, a good understanding of what people look for in this ecosystem, and that was kind of a good fit in that regard. And yeah, like MoreJPEG said, the rest is history from that point on.
And it is really cool to see, honestly, because I remember when I was first talking to you, Firestorm, and the rest of the Dexalot team about doing some marketing work. You were just getting started with Snail Trail, and you were telling me about this snail racing game.
Hell
and
yeah,
now
man.
Here we are, and it's like we got the marketing Dexalot, we got marketing for Snail Trail. It's like meeting the minds over here.
Yeah, beautiful thing coming together here.
Yeah. So MoreJPEGs, why don't we get the important stuff out of the way before we start, going crazy with fun and music? Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's been happening with the project, what's in the sort of pipeline? Like, just give us what happened since we last had you on the show.
Yeah, of course. So, well, since I last on the show, it's been a lot has gone down. We've done our mint, we've done our game launch. The mint went great. We sold out in our second of 3 rounds, so it was an early sellout. It was very exciting. We launched our game. Great launch. A lot of players. It was a lot of fun. And then we've just been honestly just building out the game ever since. We're doing a bunch of quality of life improvements, game updates. We've done a couple of partnership giveaways, a couple of our own giveaways where we'll have the community kind of contribute in their own little way to the game. Like, we had a giveaway where the community was naming the actual trails in the game. So they're coming up with their own little snail or slime themed racing trail names. So that was fun. And then in the pipeline, so we have a big quarter coming up. We just finished our last roadmap item of Q2, which was our Twitch integration. And that was very exciting. It was, I know a lot of people were excited about it in the community. So now we can start having some fun and start getting engaged in some cool events. 24/7 races are streamed on our Twitch channel at Snail Trail Game.
That's big, right? Is there another game, or is there anything else on
Avalanche? We are representing Avalanche Gaming on Twitch right now as the only project.
I think
that's the best.
Twitch streams, well, I mean, I could be wrong, and I'll let the good folks in the comments correct me, but I think Twitch stream-wise, I don't know if Dexalot is the first to do shows on Twitch. And then, of course, Snail Trail, I believe, is the first game from the Avalanche side to continuously show races, basically.
We might have been the first on Avalanche. I don't know about other platforms, but I believe we were. I don't know for sure. I'm gonna have to look into that. But one of the things that I love about you guys' Twitch integration is the 24-hour races. I think that's such a cool feature because people can get in at any time. Because obviously, we've got users all over the world. So it's and shout out to our production staff showing you how you can follow the Snail Trail crew over on Twitch. Actually, we're on Twitch right now. This is Twitch. But We've actually prepared a short clip to show you what the race would look like. Should we cue that up for everybody? I'd love for our viewers to see what you can actually what the race looks like, because it's exciting, legit.
Let's go.
Let's take a look.
Hump gave it too much and ran out of steam. Here they come. Snailville now in 3rd place. Hump dropping into 4th. Escargo in 2nd. Gino still hanging on. But is he losing gas in the tank? Escargo in 2nd. Snailtron 3000 making a big move for 3rd place. Here we come down the final stretch. Can Gino hold on? Yes! Gino is the winner. And it's official. Gino the winner, Snailtron in 2nd, Hump in 3rd.
Gino absolutely swagging his way to the finish line. I was maybe thinking that Poppy Shampoo over here in the corner was going to do some kind of crazy come from behind victory, but I guess it was Gino all the way. You know what
He
I
held
mean?
his own.
Yeah.
He held his own.
Yeah,
Dude.
so I guess, this is one of the things that is near and dear to my heart. I even know a couple guys who expressed interest in, casting the races. Obviously, having 24-hour overcasting, like somebody commentating the race, is not quite feasible, at least at the moment. But I know the team had plans around eventually sort of working our way to getting some maybe influencers or funny people to come on and do some casting. Wink, wink to maybe even Jimmy out here, who used to be a radio host, right?
Yeah, I've done some work in the radio business. Oh.
Yeah. So I guess more JPEGs. I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot, of course, but why don't you tell us a little bit about, what are the things that are in the pipeline, just so we have an idea. And I also want to know about the economy a little bit, like the stats and how the games are evolving, how many people. Like, hit us, man. Feed us, bro. Give us some info.
Of course. So there's a lot being added to the game this quarter. We have our in-game shop is coming to the game. This is where players will be able to use their slime tokens to kind of personalize their snails a little bit with their visuals and stuff like that. And there'll be also ways that you can use slime to rename your snail, because I know there's a lot of demand for that. Like if you buy a snail and you don't like the name, you can change it now. So we're reintroducing our ticket system, but it'll be a lot healthier, where you can use slime to purchase mission tickets if you need to. But that'll come in our quarterly update soon. A lot more information on that. A huge thing is our isometric 3D race view. So what we just played was the 2D race view for the game.
Yeah.
So now coming to 3D race view is going to have a lot more detail to your snails. You can tell it looks a lot more like your actual NFT artwork, and you'll see more details. And it's just going to make the game look a lot nicer and
totally
colorful. And so all the recording, screen grabs, live streaming is going to look just a lot more aesthetic and all that. And then we have our tournament race mode is coming, which is going to be exciting. So it's just different, a little bit different of a strategy, where it's an elimination based tournament.
Sure.
And there's going to be higher stakes, higher rewards. So that's going to spice the game up a little bit. We got our laboratory, which will come this quarter, depending on what the snail population, which is very exciting because it'll be NFT burning. So it'll reduce the supply, and it'll get all those kind of unwanted, not, let's say, as fast snails that you can kind of morph them together and burn let's say 3 and make a one better snail.
Gotcha.
So that's going to be really cool.
That sounds awesome. Just as a reminder to everybody, chat, if you have any questions for more JPEGs, please feel free. I actually have a question. What do you think would happen if a snail raced an axolotl? Who do you think would win there?
So the axolotl is quite bigger than the snail, right?
What if they were equal size?
I would say if it was one of our athletes, they might have a good amount of training under their belt, and I think they might pull out the win here.
I think you're probably right. Axolotls are they're lovely animals, but they're I don't think they see very well. But they
what if you light the axolotl on fire, though?
Well, you shouldn't do that. But what if it was you that was?
What if the axolotl was already on fire?
Right, you're just like a demon axolotl.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, like a demon. That's a good one.
We'll have to check the rules.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll come back to this. This is it's probably some specs we got to check into. So.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting silly over here. My bad.
So I guess what else is cool, man? Like, tell us. I know I've spoken to the guys here and there. I can't really talk to them as much as I used to. They're like hardcore developing. The most important thing I kind of want to emphasize is all the things that you talked about, like all the things that you said are either done or on their way to be done, are things that have been on the roadmap. So I'm quite pleasantly happy about the roadmap basically being delivered, right? So I think it's an important thing to emphasize because that doesn't always happen, particularly with Web3 projects. So that's number one. But why don't you tell us a little bit about like the gaming population, the number of games, like the stats that make up the game? How did they look since the launch?
Right, yeah. So we just had our 2 months anniversary was yesterday actually.
Nice.
And some of our stats included we've had uh, over 2,700 unique racers on the tracks. We've had 8,000, a little bit over 8,000 snails participating in races out of about 9,000 in the total population. So a lot of these athletes they're getting to the trails. We have over 100K races we hit last week, and now it's about like 115 area. We've had a lot of breeders, a lot of breeders. So newborn snails since the mint have been a little bit more than 1,800. It's closing in on 1,900 now, which would result in so we have 3.65 million slime tokens that have been used for incubation and breeding. So that's pretty huge, pretty huge. We have 7.7 million slime tokens won in competitive races. So we got a lot of people hitting the tracks, a lot of prizes going around there. And yeah, and like the most important thing we have, like in regards to the economy, is that it's very flexible. So with races, right now it's 6 races per snail, and the rewards pool is 60 slime. So that's like when we talk about those numbers, it's in regards to our target emissions because we have a schedule for the token emissions, and we want to stick to that schedule. And let's say we don't hit that schedule for the month. Let's say we do a little bit less. It'll roll over to the next month regardless. So we always want to be on schedule with those target emissions. But as we go down the road of the schedule, the rewards will start to decrease. So it could be, at one point it might be 5 races per day with the 60 slime reward. It might be 4, maybe 3, like down the road as you continue on. So what's really important for our players is with the snail population growing, you want to keep increasing your snail count, or your rewards from the shared pool will decrease. So the kind of the name of the game right now is to breed, and like just like if you run the numbers, it just makes sense for increasing your snail count because it will start the rewards are decreasing and there will be a growing snail population regardless. So it's kind of in the player's favor to keep breeding and keep trying to obtain more snails,
Absolutely.
And I guess just like taking one quick step back to the original numbers you mentioned, 1,800 snails roughly, right? That's I think what 20 to 25% ish growth of the population. I remember Shy and Orexer obviously, put a lot of math and modeling into the population growth, and if I am not mistaken, it's almost spot on what they actually projected originally. Is that correct? I know initially
that's
when we
correct.
first launched, I think when we first launched, the initial population growth was a little bit behind the curve that they modeled. And we were sort of trying to, think about why that would be. But now it sounds like it's exactly on the trajectory. Yeah. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, props to them for
Yeah, no, I
modeling that
mean,
out.
I am shocked at the accuracy. I think like the target that they put on was like 11.5 to 12.5%. and like 25 is exactly 2 times that, given it's the 2 months, which, wow, amazing. Cool, dude. So I guess
Can I ask a quick question about the athletes, please?
Yeah, of course.
First of all, I love that the snails are called athletes. That's like, I think, my favorite thing that I've heard. So
Listen,
regarding
baseball players are called athletes. So
well,
snails
sure,
100% can be, right?
Exactly.
right.
He's got a point.
Yes, but have there been any athletes that have just dominated, like just been undefeated? Like, I'm interested, like who are the total ringers in the snail trail scene?
So we have some high purity snails. This is a high purity will involve an athlete obtaining more of their dominant gene within their genome. So let's say a milk snail with 16 purity has 16 milk genes. So it's more of a purebred kind of snail,
Sure.
So this will definitely aid in its ability to compete at these high stakes competitive races.
Okay.
And what we're seeing is that these high purity snails are winning a lot more races, and the key is to actually get them to that 15, that level 15, where they unlock their third adaptation. Because once you unlock that third adaptation, you have no more negative gene coefficients that can negatively affect your speed. So they're golden. They have all their positive gene coefficients, and and they have that high purity. So they're kind of just.
So if someone calls me a high purity snail, I should take it as a compliment, is what you're saying?
Of course, always. Any type of snail, you should take that as a compliment.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Slime Gang, what up?
But yeah, that's what we've seen, because there's a lot of like people breeding right now, and some of them have figured out how to get that higher purity in there.
Sure.
I mean, a lot of it's probability based, so you can't just pick your purity, but there's a strategy to it, as well as there's a strategy to racing. So the people with the fast snails and the best strategy combined, that will get you the most races. I mean, the most wins,
I mean, this is I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think this is a screen and a chat full of high purity snails over here, man. We got Dexalot. You're the best of the best, man. Dexalotls, Snail Trail, Slime Gang. We love you guys, man. More JPEGs. Would you come back again to the show? Like, would you come back a third time? This is your second time back. Would you ever come back a third time?
If I could make a mixtape and bring it on for you.
Oh my God, can you? Yes, please. Yes, dude. I would love that.
Let me just pick the track list and we'll
more
have time.
More JPEGs, and
Firestorm knows I have good taste in music.
Hell yeah,
dude, we'll make it happen.
What I was about to say. So more JPEGs, and the lovely guest that was with more JPEGs last time at NFT NYC, they understand music. They've even invited me to another event after an NFT NYC, but unfortunately I had to fly back to Jupiter that weekend.
Sure. Yeah.
To take care of Jupiter things, gotta hold the storms at bay, as you know.
Yes.
But they do understand music, so we are welcoming
guest
that.
DJs.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I don't know if he DJs. Do you DJ more JPEGs? I can't remember that one. Did we talk about that?
I don't.
Okay. All right.
I've been dabbling a little bit.
I'll teach you over there.
I'm not a seasoned veteran,
It's all good. That's not,
but I mean, a mixtape is definitely okay, I would say.
Well, how about this? Before we wrap up, is there anything, before we get back into the music, is there anything you want, since Firestorm is singing your musical praises over here, you got to drop me a request, man. What are you trying to hear in the mix?
All right, let's go through the library here. I need to find a good.
All right.
A good one for you. But I don't want to keep everybody waiting. Let's get to the music. No. I'll drop you.
Drop me some in the chat. And I'll.
Before we go, actually, more JPEGs. I have an important question for you. What is your view on the free mints and how that would affect NFT projects that are looking to sell NFTs to fund themselves? By the way, this is a question. The true NFT connoisseur savant Leo from A Ventures DAO was with us recently, and
That's
I've gotten the answer from him. So I kind of want to get an answer from you as well to this question.
You're asking how it affects the
Like, first, what do you
projects
think
that are
about?
coming out without free mints.
No, I mean, like, two things, two separate questions, I guess. One, what's your view on free mints in general? My view is that it sort of accelerated NFT talk for Avalanche, which is awesome. Two, if everybody starts expecting free mint NFTs, what happens to the projects who are looking to fund themselves by just an NFT sale? It's kind of like a, a double-edged sword, in my opinion, and I kind of want to get more opinions from other people. And you are my victim today, so let's hear it.
Okay, so first of all, how is it affecting the space?
Yeah,
right?
First of all, yeah, how is it affecting the space, and what do you think about them?
I think it's not a bad way to kind of grow the NFT community, especially in a bear market. I think obviously a free mint for a project is probably very appealing to NFT traders, especially in a bear market. I would say it's obviously negatively affecting those projects that want to come out and sell these NFTs, because when you have a whole trend of free mints and you come along, you say, hey, we're going to do a 2 AVAX mint, it kind of like, it might villainize you. It might make you look like the bad guy when you're going against the wave, against the trend. But I think as long as you as a project can provide value to a community, you can build a community of like-minded people, then I think they will be willing to spend that 2 AVAX, and they won't be too hard pressed over a free mint.
Yeah, so the thing that I've been trying to wrap my head around is, in the end, there's multiple facets to the NFTs, right? I kind of separate it as NFTs with utility, kind of like game assets. You do something with that NFT, Snail Trail, right? And then you have the art NFT, the thing that you sort of identify with, you make it your PFP maybe, etc. And in the end, the art side is a little bit more tricky, I feel. Like, you do a free mint, but as an artist, you probably spent a lot of time, you poured your heart and soul into it. And how do you monetize your time at all if it's a free mint? Like, you can view it as a sort of marketing strategy, but in the end, people need to make money to live, right? So I'm sort of trying to wrap my head around it. I'm trying to understand: is this temporary? Is this going to continue? That's what I'm struggling with.
I think as an artist, you're looking at it different ways. If you want to drop a free mint and hop on the trend and kind of build your rapport within the community, this is a perfect way to do it. Some people they see your art, it gets exposure. You'll find a lot of people that'll like it. You get your name out there, get your brand out there, and then maybe down the road, after you built your first community around this free mint, maybe down the road you have another collection and you can charge, let's say, 1 AVAX for it. You come out with a 1 of 1 and you auction it off. So there's a lot of, I think it can be used as a vehicle. I mean, anything trending can kind of be used as a vehicle if you want to set that foundation, if you want to be creative with what you can do with it,
That's what's up, man.
Makes
I just
sense.
love how Firestorm pulled up like pop quiz hot shot. How do you feel about a free mint? That was great, man.
Listen, it's the rage right now, right? And the other side of the coin for me personally is, I've spoken to a couple of teams who are trying to build interesting NFT projects, like NFT-based projects,
right?
Not exactly art, not exactly utility, and they want to sort of create communities around, but they didn't sort of plan on doing a private capital raise, right. And their plan was to sort of raise through selling the NFTs. Now that the free mints have sort of hit the market and kind of dominated the attention, I feel like those projects now have a much steeper road, because people expect to mint something for free and be able to flip that for money. That's kind of the perspective I looked at it from. But again, the fact that these are happening and it brings eyeballs from other communities into ours is a positive. So it's kind of like one of those trade-off things, which I kind of wanted to get MoreJPEGs opinion of as well. Anyways, that's it, man. You pass with flying colors. We do accept your answers and we appreciate them.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I do have a song request.
Oh, what do you got?
So I was gonna go too deep with the music. I was gonna bring us into
Oh
like a
man, I
tech
know a
house.
lot of music.
I was gonna put us in like a tech house spin zone, but
Ooh.
not gonna do that. We're gonna keep it light, right? We want to
Okay.
keep it light. But it's called The Hymn by Will Clark.
Okay. Production, can you get on that for me, please? Our producer is gonna get that cracking for you. More JPEGs, man. Thank you so much for joining the show again.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. You're more
It was a great
JPEGs 2
time.
times now.
Oh yeah.
You're part of the family.
You're the first 2-timer, buddy.
Yeah, dude. This is
Let's
awesome.
go.
Oh, okay.
see
Oh,
you.
Zero X Ninjas knows who it is, so let's go. Okay, you got a fan of your request in the chat, so now I have to play it. There's no two
Love
ways about it.
that. Love that.
Dude, thank you so much for being here. We're gonna have you back yet again. You're gonna be the 3-timer over here.
I'll come back with my mixtape.
Let's do it.
I gotta start
I would love
grinding
that.
now. Today's the day I start my mixtape.
Bro, I
can
love
bring it
that.
back
Please
on.
do. Please
You
do.
know, I'll leave you with be there early on Friday or be square, buddy.
Oh yeah,
do
that's
that.
another thing, and we'll talk about this in a minute. More JPEGs, man. Thank you so much, dude. We'll talk to you soon.